Neil again, and welcome to another Learning Essentials video. In this video, we'll introduce Essentials plugins. We'll discuss what Essentials plugins are, the capabilities and use cases of plugins, and how plugin devices integrate with Simple Windows Bridging. And if you don't already know what we mean by Simple Windows Bridging, that's just our term for how we connect devices in Essentials across an Ethernet intersystem symbol to Simple Windows programs. What are Essentials plugins? Well, they're external pieces of code that can extend or modify core Essentials functionality. They can provide support for additional devices when required. They can also be the business logic for a system, which is what determines the system's behavior. And really, they can do anything you want them to do. Let's talk about when to use a plugin. Well, the most obvious use case is if you need to control a device that isn't already controlled in Essentials framework. So you can write a plugin that basically acts as a device driver to control that device. Now, it might actually be a physical box that you need to talk to, and you might need to write a driver for that. Or you might need to write some piece of logic to control a virtual device, like say a virtual video matrix that maps and routes encoders to decoders for a video wall scenario or routing scenario or something like that. So really, you can extend or modify any existing functionality that's within the framework already, or you can write your own that has nothing to do with what's in the framework. And it's a way to do it just off to the side. Let's talk about Simple Windows Bridging. This is probably the most common application for people. A lot of people aren't going to be writing drivers to load devices in Essentials for use in standalone Simple Sharp Pro applications. Most people are going to have the bulk of their logic in Simple Windows in the way they've always done it. But they're going to come across a device that it just doesn't make sense to use Simple Windows for. Maybe it's got a JSON RPC API or some HTTP RESTful API, and that's a headache in Simple Windows. So maybe it's easier to write it as an Essentials plugin and connect that back to your Simple Windows program. So like I mentioned at the beginning, we call that Simple Windows Bridging. And really what that's about is just bridging devices in Essentials over an Ethernet intersystem symbol into Simple Windows. So to do that, you can use one of the existing bridges we already have for a lot of the generic device types. And those are things like a display or a DM chassis with the endpoints, or PTZ cameras, or Apple TVs, or set-top boxes. And that's not an exhaustive list. But if we don't have a bridge already, you can write your own bridge in your plugin. And really, all a bridge consists of is it's a method that runs at the beginning when the program starts up that links across all of the actions from Simple Windows that when something triggers, you want it to execute a method or an action on the device in Essentials, as well as all the feedback from that device in Essentials that gets patched back across to the Simple Windows program. So when anything happens on the device, you get instant notification in Simple Windows. And we'll show you how to do that. We have an example plugin as a public repository, and we also have a template plugin that includes Simple Windows Bridging. Thanks for watching. Today we covered the infrastructure of Essentials plugins. In the next video, we'll talk about how to get a plugin loaded and running on a processor. If you haven't already, please check out our Essentials Discord server. That's where we'd love to have a conversation with you about how you might use plugins or some plugins that you might want to see written or write yourself. And we'd love to get conversations started between our developers and other developers that might be interested in collaborating together on some of these projects. The link to the Discord server is down in the doobly-doo. And as always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification icon so you can find out when the next video gets released. See you next time.